Okay, now on to the subject matter. Why Mustacrakish slash Nathan Explosion slash Varsithimus slash Bertimus. I forget his other characters, but all of those, why he was banned. Um, a lot of people are greatly appreciative that I did this. Or Hawk did it technically, but it's a decision that we all wanted to make, which she finally took the initiative and just made it. Um, I there's a lot of stuff that people can say about Mustakakish or Nathan, um, that it's just it doesn't support the theory of why we should ban him. Like, he was annoying, yes. He didn't like to listen sometimes, yes. He forgot things easily, yes. But let's talk about what are the things why he did deserve to be banned. Well, number one, a lot of people didn't know before they came onto the server, like new people, like that were part of his guild, like Katie Sarah or Death King and stuff like that. We had a problem with Nathan before where he played an Eridar named Musa Krakish, and basically he said, "Oh yeah, I'm not powerful at all. I'm just this little. I'm an Eridar, which is a very powerful race." But he said, "I'm going to be responsible about this, and just tell me how long it takes for me to gain power." And I said, "All right, so you can get your Eridar. You have him. Great. In 3 days, you can drain the first Mana Forge in Netherstorm. And it takes 24 hours to drain one. And then you can have a rest period the next day. And the day after, you can drain the next one. And basically, you can drain the 3 active ones. There is a 4th one, but it blew up in lore. You destroy it, basically. So he said okay, and he waited like 2 days before he even started draining the Mana Forges. I was like, "Are you going to do it?" He's like, "I'm waiting until I get members." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." He ended up getting 2 members that really followed him around a lot. And they drained all 3 Mana Forges in an RP session that took 30 minutes. So that was kind of a not following directions there. And, we had to talk to him about that. And basically he said, "Well, sorry, but I have members now and I can do that." And I was like, I'm sorry, but you can't. Like, we told you to follow these specific rules in order for you to not say that you're super powerful and just, destroy Azeroth or whatever. So he got kind of angry at that. He ended up trying to force a lot of people into joining his order. And, that didn't really serve out well for him. A lot of role players got pissed off at him because he was basically like, "Oh, I have mind control powers and like I can basically do what I want. You're tiny, I can do whatever." And he basically he pissed off a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't want to roleplay with him. So after a while, after people didn't want to just walk up to him and roleplay, he decided, "Well, you know what? I'm going to take my character out of the Outlands, and I'm just going to go straight to Azeroth." So that's what he did. And he ended up going over to the Night Elf territory and trying to kill Yelvandre, who was a warden. And he basically started these battles with Yelvandre and her brother in real life, who's Grislow, one of our new GMs. And basically, he failed in his attempt at killing the warden. She ended up murdering one of his members. And then he basically said, "Oh, I'm so powerful, I can bring my members back to life. I can grant people wishes." And, he basically told her, "You have to void that entire RP. It didn't happen. Like, he's back alive. Like, you can't do that." and she basically said, I'm sorry, but I can. And, they came to me and argued about it, and he linked me a wiki section called Wish, and it said that powerful spellcasters can cast a spell called Wish that basically, made things void. Like, you could bring back somebody who died within the past 24 hours to perfect health. You could literally grant people wishes, like if they wanted the ability to just fly, they could. Just basically granting wishes. He was basically like a fucking genie. And, I looked at this, and it was part of the WoW RPG. And by the way, if you ever link anything from the WoW RPG and say, oh, can't I use this? The answer is no. Because it literally says within the role-playing section of wikis, do not use this as a character reference. It specifically says, and even people from Blizzard has specifically said, this has absolutely nothing to do with WoW lore, period. You should not use it as a reference, ever. Nothing. So that's something to keep in mind. So never post anything from the WoW RPG and just be like, oh, like, this is part of the game, when it isn't. Sorry. But I told him, like, you can't do that, and he basically got really angry at me, and I was just like, dude, you need to be more responsible about things, and I even told you, you can't drain the mana forges in one day, and you did it in 30 minutes, okay, and he was just like, well, you know what, I'm more powerful now, and da-da-da-da. I was like, I'm sorry, but you can't do that, and I was just like, what were you thinking? Like, how is this being responsible? And he said, oh, you know what, I forgot, and I said, dude, you've said that. And he did say that about 5 times. That was his main excuse until the end, even with Varth. He just said, oh, I forgot. And I'm sorry, people, but after 2 times, that excuse does not work anymore. But he just kept saying, I forget. And, he was just like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm a big demon. I'm power hungry. That's why I act like this, and that's how my character is. You can't change that. I was just like, dude, there's a difference between being power hungry. Yes, draining the mana forges is a power hungry fucking thing to do, but you still have a time limit, just like everybody else, because your power is limited at first, and then you gain power through doing things in the correct way. And he really didn't like that idea, and basically we ended up starting to argue with him, and we basically announced, well, since you attacked Ylvandre, and you were claiming to attack the demon hunter, Fala, we ended up creating a team of people. Me and Val were 2 ethereals. Calamity's Edge, Vincent, he decided to roleplay the character Akama, because he doesn't do anything. He's not part of lore anymore. He's not a major character anymore. And he's basically just sitting in the Black Temple, not doing anything, but really Akama has agreed to kill off powerful demons, so this was a perfect time to use him. So we made a guild called the Ashbrought, and basically said that we were going to try and chase Mustakrakish back into Outlands. He basically got super angry that we created this guild, and we did it ICly, meeting up with each other and whatnot. And he said, you know what, Mustakrakish is dead. Like, that's it. He's dead. And the next day, he wanted to apply for another black labeled class. And I told him no. I was like, you're being super irresponsible. It wasn't even the next day. It was about an hour later after we took the power away from him. I basically brought up the fact that he was unresponsible. And the fact that he got angry super easily and frustrated if he didn't get his way, and then he just deleted his characters and went on to something else. And, he got angry at me, and as we argued, he ended up physically saying, these are exact quotes, I have it written down. I wrote down a lot of the stuff in the chat logs and whatnot. But he literally said, shut the fuck up, Morph. Shut your fucking mouth. And basically he got super angry at me, and he was just like, fine, you know what, ban me. Like, do it. Like, he was basically encouraging me to ban him. He was like, be an asshole, ban me, like, you're the dick. He is basically trying to convince players that I'm a faulty leader, that my staff has no idea what they're doing, and that he could lead a server better. Well, he didn't actually say that, but, you know, it's implied in the wording. He upset me a lot, but I'm not going to ban somebody because they say shut the fuck up, Morph. I tell people to shut the fuck up all the time, regularly. I'm a very sarcastic person, and a lot of people don't get that. They think I'm very mean, but really, I'm not. I'm a very sarcastic individual. I like dark comedy, and that's how I act. So, I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings, but that's me. But anyway, so basically, I said I'm not going to ban you. And he was like, fine, you know what, maybe, he told me, he was like, you just need to ban me for like a day, just a few hours, like, so I don't go on here and do something that I regret. And I said, dude, I'm pretty sure that you just did something that you regret, and I'm not going to ban you. I'm sorry, if you want to get off, you can, but I'm not going to ban you and look like the bad guy, because that's what you're trying to make me do. And he basically denied that, and then he decided to stay on the server. About an hour later, he tried to apply, or he said that he was going to apply for a black class. I said, no, you're not getting another black class again. I said that once your black class dies, which is a rule for pretty much anybody, if you have a black class and he dies, you cannot apply for another black or purple class for like 2 weeks, just about, or like a week and a half, something like that. Because that's just unfair for other people, you know, and I only like to have a certain amount of black classes online, you know, like playing, so that's why I deny other people's black classes, or I just say, you know what, it's on pending for a while, because I want to wait until other black classes die before I approve it. You know, we told Nathan that he had to prove himself. So he basically roleplayed as a faceless one, which was Vincent's bitch, for about a week straight. And throughout the entire week, I was basically telling him, I was like, look, dude, you're going to fail. Like, I don't believe in you at all. And I was basically trying to put him down so that way he could prove me wrong. And in some ways he did, but in other ways he didn't, because he acted how he wanted him to act. But that's the thing. He was acting. He truly didn't want to change himself. He just pretended that he did. And that's a big problem. So he basically went through the little thing. I ended up not banning him. And he applied for a character, Varsithimus, this dreadlord, and we approved it.